Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2020 Walt Disney EGF High School National Championships. Today, we will be crowning the Rocket League Grand Champion. My name is Kevin Navik-Dignan, and I'm joined by the wonderful Cameron Dorf-Fralick. How you doing today, Dor?
I'm doing well. We've got two big semifinals coming up, both best of 5, followed by our best of 7 grand finals, each of which is about to be a real barn burner. These teams coming up are going to be North Mesquite Stallions A team versus the Sheehan Titans Alpha, both fighting for a spot in that grand finals.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see this game, right? We have seen both of these teams play before. This should be a pretty close game. The Titans, the Sheehan Titans Alpha, are definitely a force to be reckoned with, Dor. I'm a little bit worried for the Stallions A, but both teams made it to this point, so I have no doubt in my mind we'll have a good game on our hands.
I mean, it's worth noting in the spring championships, the Mesquite Stallions were taken down by the Wildcats in the semifinals. So they didn't get a chance to play up against the Titans Alpha, who were the other finalists up against the Wildcats. But these two teams, they don't have much of a history, but both of them are really big contenders for that top spot.
Yeah, and we are jumping into the games very, very quickly here, Dor. Of course, we have the Stallions A in the blue and the Sheehan Titans Alpha in the orange. Kick us off, Dor.
Yeah, heading into this game, I mean, let's take a look at some of these rosters. Wall Python, Choo Choo Plane, and Think Hydra have been some big names this season at EGF. They've been making plays all over the place, especially Wall Python, who's been the core of this team. Meanwhile, on the other end of things, Shadow, It's Caesar, Lalo, absolutely ridiculous players, but Sheehan Titans Alpha starting it off amazingly. Think Hydra finding an off-kilter goal here from the side.
Yeah, I mean, and immediately, just like that, this is how quickly a game of Rocket League can go, right? Sheehan managed to score goal 1.
And that's exactly what you need to start. High aggression, challenging on all these 50-50s. I want to see some teams that are already warmed up. I want to see them fully confident in their ability to play and not really coming out at a timid pace, really going at it with everything they got initially.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? These teams both just starting to warm up, first games of their day, so a bit of a nervous start, I imagine, right? Coming off, though, the Sheehan Titans, that's going to be goal number 2. No, Choo Choo Train, or Choo Choo Plane, not Choo Choo Train, whiffed it.
Yeah, and that's a big whiff there. We talk about the difference between 1 and 2 goal difference in Rocket League, and that second goal would have been so comfortable. A shot from It's Caesar, though, or pardon me, is going to be saved by Wall Python, who managed to get the ball out to the other end of the field, but now it's North Mesquite in the driver's seat and trying to take away this boost, trying to prolong this possession as much as they can.
Yeah, now coming up, Think Hydra looks for it, gets the touch off a Choo Choo Plane over to Wall Python, clears it out. Wall Python is a name that we spoke of quite a lot during the original playoffs, right? Out of the round robin to decide our finalists.
Yeah, the Sheehan Titans Alpha are a real formidable team, but the Stallions, of course, if you have a school that's getting both of their teams, then you know one thing is going to be good there, and that has got to be the coaching. Each of these teams had a very good fundamental idea of how to play the game, but when you miss touches like that, Choo Choo Plane gets what is effectively a free goal here for Sheehan Titans Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just what happens, though. You're out of rotation, you can't get around the time, and opposition gets a nice touch, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. You've already made the mistakes.
Half the way through the game, there's plenty of time for the Stallion side to come up, but we need to see them come alive first. I'm not seeing the same level of aggression, I'm not seeing the same level of speed, and I think a lot of that comes down to the confidence they have going into the day, right? Confidence is a huge thing in Rocket League, so is momentum, because it's going to allow you to challenge balls earlier, challenge balls quicker because you're confident in your decision making. North Mesquite Stallions, I'm really not seeing that in them right now, though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those situations, right? But this is, of course, a best-of-5 series, so they will have a chance to warm up, readjust. It wouldn't be the first time that we see a team that looks like they're going to just get rolled over and come out with this fairy tale, like, Cinderella victory, right? The clock strikes 12, and they're out of nowhere.
Well, we're going to need that clock to strike 12 pretty soon here because at 3-0, the Titans Alpha have a stranglehold over this game. Yes, half the game is remaining for the Mesquite Stallions to come back in. And with that time, Navik, what do you think they need to improve?
I think it's a difficult one to call right now, right? They're just starting off. We've only seen 2 minutes and 30 seconds of gameplay from them today. And overall, I think it might just come down to a warm-up thing, especially if this team decided not to do a few warm-up games, right? It's one of those things. And readjusting to your opposition, going into a warm-up game in like a random queue versus going into a game, a proper game versus a coordinated team is a very different environment to be in.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to warm up that communication structure. You also need to warm up your passing game. But they're not able to do that. Northeast Stallions, though, they net themselves across. Nobody's there to finish. Again, that confidence you have to have in not only yourself, but your teammates. Believe that the ball is going to be going across the halfway mark so that you're able to follow up on it. 1 minute, 47 seconds left on the clock, though. North Mesquite Stallions just aren't showing it to us in this first game.
Yeah, coming off now. Goes over to Caesar. Choo-choo plane. Gets the intercept. Goes over to Wall Python. This is a good attempt for a 1-2 pass. Oh, no. Shadow's just going to whiff it. Caesar's going to be on top of that, though. Not letting that go in front of their goal. They did not want to allow this Titans Alpha team to get a 4th goal.
I think that's the key here. A 4th goal in Rocket League tends to be the nail in the coffin. But with 120 left on the clock, 3 could be it as well. Need at least a goal every 20 seconds. And we haven't even seen these Stallions get there first. Someone has got to saddle up here and do something about this lead.
Coming off Wall Python gets the touch. Centers it up. Nobody's going to be in rotation. Lalo whiffs, looking for the opportunity. We're going to see another breakout opportunity for Titans Alpha coming up now. Caesar, they're going to stop it, but the pressure does not stop just yet. The double bounce centers it. Lalo's going to be there, though. Team captain making the right call.
Well,
transitioning.
The right call here for the Titans Alpha. Right, Stallions not out of it. 38 seconds on the clock and just 3 goals of difference. It feels like a mile, but it's just inches, and that's going to show you how easy it is to score one more for the Titans Alpha squad. They come in, put a 4th goal, and with 30 seconds on the clock, I'm going to say it, that's the nail in the coffin for this first game. North Mesquite, they got to start looking at a second.
Yeah, I think you are potentially very much so correct. It's a very difficult situation to score 4 goals. It's difficult to score a single goal in 30 seconds in like the intense situations, but trying to get 4 seems unrealistic, especially now when we're down to 5 seconds average a goal. Unless they're kickoffs, it's not happening.
Yeah, and I feel like the Sheehan Titans are doing a great job everywhere on the field, but the North Mesquite Stallions, there's some places they really need to focus on improving, and ironically, unlike their B team, a lot of their issues come on the attacking half rather than the defense. They're good at getting the ball out of the half, but they're not really doing much with it whenever they're there. It comes down more so to whether or not they're actually able to create these opportunities for themselves and finish them off.
And that's going to be that door. We are going to see the Sheehan Titans taking an uncontested 4-0 game there coming into this series. What a good opener for them.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these Stallions can do in the next game, though. They've got a long way to go warming up. They've got a long way to go communication-wise. It'll be really interesting to see whether or not they're able to do that in the next game.
Yeah, and coming into that next game, what do you think we need to be seeing adjusting?
For the Stallions, like I said,
yes,
it's going to be all in the attacking half. It's going to be creating these opportunities and being able to finish them off. They haven't really done that. They've built to the halfway mark. They've knocked the ball all the way into opposing territory, but it hasn't really created any threats. The Titans seem extremely comfortable in the game right now, and it's up to the Stallions to really change that and make them feel the heat.
Yeah, coming off now, we're going to be getting into a game. Yeah, into the next game, and I'm looking forward to it, Dor. I'm hoping we can see the Stallions bring this back.
Well, new game, and as you always say, Navik, a 0-0 start is exactly the kind of medicine that the North Mesquite Stallions are going to be needing right now, and we saw some promising stuff from them at the end of the game prior. So in this one, let's see if they can continue on that upwards trend, although it could only take 1 goal from the Titans to really just shut down all of that momentum.
Yeah, and yeah, it is the game of Rocket League, right? 0-0, 5 minutes on the clock. It is anybody's game. It's the beauty of Rocket League. Now coming up onto this, Lalo's finding a bit of a breakout. Think Hydra. Where are they going to take this spot?
I think they're looking to drive it just into these corners and make them uncomfortable, but no, Lalo knocks it in towards the own goal, no less. A minute in, and we said she and Titans were going to force something, but they didn't even have to force that one. Lalo went ahead and did it for them, and you know that's going to be real rough on the North Mesquite Stallions morale.
Yeah, Choo Choo playing it, all right. Coming in now onto the kickoff. We see Shadow against Think Hydra. It's going to go up center here. 1 minute left on the clock. Or, sorry, 1 minute off of the clock. Oh my goodness, the nerves are getting to all of us, door.
They really are, and especially to the Stallions here. They've got to do something to spur their own gameplay. Take the reins, if you will. But the Titans Alpha right now are in the driver's seat, up on the saddle, and they are breaking this Stallion. And right now, there's not much they can do to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, now once again, Shallow looking to try and contest it. George gets the touch, goes over, just needs to get it past Choo Choo Plane, goes over to Shadow. Shadow goes off the ceiling, Lalo intercepts it, gets it off of the rebound here. Where is the play? Where's the finish off of that? Because this is the thing. Oh my god, Lalo with the back touch there. That redirect was almost perfect, but two defenders on the side of Titans Alpha able to deny that.
I mean, this is exactly what I'm saying. The Titans just look so comfortable. I need to see a passing play just like that if you want to push them out of their comfort zone. Right now, they just move this three-man squad up and down the field, completely indomitable, impregnable on their own half. Look at this, goal wide open, but a save from Think Hydra. An unthinkable time. George tries to follow up and will be able to do so, evening up the score for the Stallions.
Yeah, now tying it up 1-1 as we are roughly entering half time. We're only 20 seconds off. So this game is effectively 0-0 at this point, right? We're dead even.
It's a close one, but one that the Stallions can win. This is not getting out of hand like it did last game. Oftentimes, we will see these start to spiral out of control. 1 goal lead turns into 2, turns into 5. But as we saw in this match, you can fire back. You can start to turn that momentum, and that's exactly what the Stallions need to do.
Yeah, now the question is, how will Titans Alpha react? How will they reposition, right? They've now been scored upon. They're not untouchable. What are they going to do?
I think that's going to be the big question here. Is you can't score the same way every single time for the North Mesquite Stallions. You can't rely on mistakes from the Titans squad. You need to force these plays yourself. Get creative with the ball. Let's see some up-the-wall plays. Let's see some aerial shots out of them. That's what we need to see. See some inspiration.
Well, let's just see some good old-fashioned bumps, right? Send one person off, knock people out, recenter them, force them to have to play around you, not you playing around them. That's what we need to see coming out of both of these teams, to be frank, as they are both playing extremely passive games right now.
They are, but the Titans, like I said, they're playing comfortable, which kind of, I think, puts them into this weird pocket where you can get too comfortable, start playing passively, you're not going for any aggressive plays, not taking the reins on the game, not really taking control of anything. And I think, like you mentioned, some demolition, some bumps, knocking them around a little bit is a great way to just do that for the Stallions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we're entering 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. 1-1 still, dead even. We need to see a breakout play from either of these teams right now, or if not, we're going to go to overtime.
Well, Shadow's got a nice save, keeping that score at 1-1, but Stallions trying to build it out of their own half. They're slowly getting better with it. You can tell how comfortable they are on this defense. They've done a fantastic job in the back end of the field as well as building out into the attacking half. And I'll harken on it again. This midfield and the opposing half continue to haunt them as we get into the latter half of this game. 1 minute left on the clock, and it's now or never for the Mesquite Stallions.
And now once again, Wall Python goes over to Think Hydra, passes it back to Wall Python, centers it up. Choo Choo Plane for the follow-up, maybe? Oh, Choo Choo Plane sets it up, though, recenters it, bounces it back to midfield there. The demo comes out from Lalo onto Think Hydra. Opportunity breaking out. That's going to go off the backboard of the Titans' goal. They are able to save it, though. 30-second buzzer. Every second is so important now, especially if Titans Alpha want to continue their lead.
Yeah, they don't have to see Stallions. They've found some. They've dug deep. And honestly, I feel like this Titans aren't really playing to the same level that they were in game 1. So it's getting a little shaky for them, and I think that's something that we can capitalize here if you are the blue side. 10 seconds on the clock, though, and Navik, I think we're going to our first overtime of the day.
I think potentially, but we've seen buzzer goals. Even just today, we've seen them. But I am incorrect this time. We are, in fact, going to overtime. Coming into overtime now, ladies and gentlemen. Choo-Choo playing in Lalo on the kickoff. It's going to go in favor of the sides of Titan Alpha. Off of the ceiling. Is that going to go in? Shadow saves it.
That was a real close call for the Stallions to see how the counterattack goes. The Walt Python immediately shuts it down. Has a 1 versus 1 up against George for the game. Backflip over. Can't quite beat the second defender, though. The counterattack from Lalo is a real threat towards the Alpha goal.
They managed to save it twice. The demo comes out from Wall Python onto Lalo, and that's going to confirm that they're not going to be able to score. An opportunity breaks out for Think Hydra. They're going to try and push it down back into Dead Man's Land. We are in just that neutral game, no advantage either side. And for anybody unfamiliar with Rocket League, we are effectively in a deadlock until one of these teams scores. So we could be here for the next 10 seconds. We could be here for the next hour.
Well, it's an interesting little mechanic, whether or not these teams get more passive or get more aggressive. Oftentimes we'll see teams slow it down in the latter half, not wanting to be the team that gives up the goal, but both these teams have just stepped on the gas pedal right now. They're playing hyper aggressive, and I love to see it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? This is what we wanted to be seeing within that timer, and that's going to be game 2, going towards Titans Alpha.
Wall Python coming up big here, cleaning up the missed save from Shadow Evo. Yes, he got the touch. Yes, it didn't go in, but that is definitely not the placement you want if you're the Stallions. The Sheehan Titans Alpha come away with the second win on the day. Can't wait to see, though, as we're at game point.
You're coming into match point here. Potentially could be us finding our grand finalists purely off of this one, Door. How do you think the Titans are going to be able to continue this streak and go up against the Wildcats later in today?
I mean, it looked dominant in game 1, but game 2 was really up in the air. I mean, it took it all the way to overtime. It took us a good bit into overtime as well. The North Mesquite Stallions, they have to be feeling themselves. You're just constant improvement. It's just like their B team did. And again, I want to call into fact the coaching at this school has got to be incredible. It's not just long overtime, massive meta shifting improvements from these teams. It's huge amounts of improvement in the game. It's huge amount of improvement in between matches. And I think that goes to show with the level of play that we see in game number 1 versus game number 2 here. The North Mesquite Stallions, yes, they may not have a win on the board, but I'm sure they have plenty more to show us.
And we will be getting into the next game in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be getting into the next game of the series here. I'm, of course, Navuk. I'm joined by the wonderful Door. And I'm intrigued to see how this one goes. We've got North Mesquite, their A Stallion team, playing against the Sheehan Titans. Alpha, sorry. I do tell a lie. Omega was taken out earlier in the tournament. Coming off now, though, ladies and gentlemen, we're kicking it off. Think Hydra challenges the opposition there as Shadow gets the touch, goes over to Choo-Choo plane. George goes up, goes over to Wall Python. A lot of pressure is being put on here. This, of course, is a match point opportunity for the Sheehan Titans in the orange.
Now, Sheehan Titans, they want to clean this one out. But the North Mesquite Stallions, again, we're looking for aggression. We're looking for a renewed sense of team. It feels like neither of these North Mesquite teams have been able to really be shut down. Even if they're not winning the game, they are still in it. They do not let go of their confidence. And that is exactly what you want to see from a team in Rocket League. But still, regardless of how much confidence you have, you're still back up against the ropes.
And now coming off again, Choo-Choo plane. Looking to get out the rebound, set up, gets it past. Wall Python opens up an opportunity for his team, but the demolition from George might just be what they need to alleviate the pressure, slow down, and set the pace that the Stallions want to be playing at.
Now, we talked about what we wanted to see from the North Mesquite Stallions a while ago, and a lot of that came down to bumping and disrupting the Sheehan Titans Alpha squad. And they're doing that a little bit in this game, playing aggressive, but it doesn't seem like it's a very intentional change. It seems like it's sort of passive, you know, we want to play more aggressive, and that just includes some bumps. But I think if they focused on that a little bit more, get it dialed in, they could really, really mess with this orange side.
Yeah, and with 1 minute 30, we're a minute and a half into this round, this potential match point, Door. There is plenty of opportunity for them to make those adjustments, figure it out. And if they can take this one, if the Stallions can win one game, they can win another, and they can take the series. We've seen it happen before. I'm sure we'll see it again at some point. But for right now, it does still seem like Titans Alpha are in control.
Yeah, they're in the driver's seat. Even at a 0-0 scoreline, they still look more comfortable. Choo-choo plane coming in. Great save, though, by Lalo, just in the nick of time as well. An open goal here for the Stallions, but they are fighting tooth and nail to stop it from going in.
Yeah, I mean, now trying to get it in. There's an opportunity, but I think Hydra goes slightly too wide. The rotation comes out from Wall Python. They are in a perfect opportunity here with this offensive rotation that they're just going to keep going in. They're going to keep trying to batter this ball straight into the goal. But Lalo manages to sneak it through their offensive pressure and alleviate it for just a little bit. I think Hydra gets the touch, goes up by George.
Yeah, if even for just a second here, the pressure is off the back of the Stallions, but they've got to put that onto the Titans. You can't just play into the midfield and hope for the best. Again, finishing off your shots is going to be so important. A great cross here, and the first one we've seen in a while from the Stallions, but they're not able to finish off on it. Wall Python now is going to create a counterattack for the Titans that could be deadly.
Yeah, now once again, though, the Stallions managed to regain control. Bit of miscommunication, and these are the bits that are the issue coming out for these Stallion teams, right? There could have been a great play by Shadow there, could have recentered it, pushed it hard. This is a good 1-2 play. Doesn't find the connection, though. George has got the rotation. Challenged by Wall Python. It's going to be deep back into the Stallions' territory. Choo-choo plane gets out red, goes over to Shadow into the corner. That's going to bounce center. Leo tries to make it happen. Shadow challenged by Wall Python. Wall Python wins the challenge, returning the ball pressure to the Titans.
And look at how long we've gone without a goal here. These teams only get more aggressive, but the scoreline seems to get lower and lower, and you can tell that the North Mesquite Stallions, they're starting to get into their zone. They are all clutch players at that school, and seemingly time and time again, when it matters, they come up big, and it has never mattered more for them than right now.
Coming up now, that's a good chance. Think Hydra saves it. This man is an iron wall. You just cannot get past this team right now. Either side.
Both been playing some fantastic defense, but a demolition puts them down a player, at least for a little bit. They've bought enough time that will be null and void, but again, creating attacking opportunities. They're getting a little apprehensive about moving into the opponent's half, keeping two defenders back at all time, but scoring it with the singular player up against the Titans is almost impossible at this point. That defense is just too strong to hold on to.
Yeah, now coming off, that's going to be an opportunity opening up for the Titans. Lalo saves it, though.
Good save, but it's all about capitalizing on the counterattack, leaving one member back now. The North Mesquite Stallions are starting to get aggressive, playing the ball into the corner, though. The Sheehan Titans are looking to make them just as uncomfortable here. Put that ball in no man's land, let it bounce around in their half, take away their boost, and make them feel real bad about their position in the game, and hopefully you can force out an ill rotation from the Stallions and then try to capitalize on it. However, now Think Hydra in the corner, looking to just create a simple passing opportunity. Unable to do so, though, as the North Mesquite Stallions get way aggressive in the corner. George just needs to keep the ball up, pass to his teammate, puts it in, and that's it! The Stallions hold on at match point.
Oh my goodness, and on the buzzer, goal set up by George. Lalo, team captain for the Stallions, puts it in. Ties it up, or gets them a point on the board, I should say. And that is going to, at least for now, stop the Titans from winning the series, ladies and gentlemen. What an intense finish to the game, Door.
It's exactly the finish that we wanted. We didn't want this ending in 3 games, and we knew that North Mesquite, they've always got some up their sleeve. They've always got a little bit of bonus action, and let's see if they can continue to improve here in Game 4.
Yeah, no, coming into Game 4, Door, where do you think this is going? Now that we've seen the Stallions get a point on the board, do you think that they are going to be able to continue this pressure, this momentum, and successfully perhaps reverse sweep the series?
I mean, I'll tell you this much. The Sheehan Titans Alpha, they're not feeling too great. That's a real tilter, getting that goal in the last second. That's putting them on the back foot, and they're definitely not feeling as well as they were at 2-0. Now you're just 2 games away from possibly losing it yourself. This team seemingly clawing back regardless of what you do, and I kind of want to harken back to Game 1 here. We talked about how the Titans looked like they were getting comfortable and how that can lead to them playing passive and then playing a little bit slower, and it feels like that's exactly what's happening to them here, and the Stallions are capitalizing beautifully, and oh no, George with an opening goal is going to start it off beautifully for the North Mesquite side.
All right, let's just break this one down, right? The replay. See Wall Python try to make it happen. George gets the read on the double attempt to recover that kickoff, and just puts the goal in. What a start for the Stallions.
And ladies and gentlemen, while these kickoff goals, they may look random, there's actually a lot of skill involved. The people setting up the ball initially will try to get it to rebound somewhere very intentionally, and so your player will try to follow up on either side of the field depending on where you're trying to put it. However, stopping the ball dead center is extremely tricky, but oh my god, even harder is Shadow Evo with the aerial pass from Lalo, finishing it off here for a second goal for the North Mesquite Stallions.
This is... The Stallions have just gone, you know what? It's time to play.
I mean, they come at halftime. It was the orange slices, the Gatorade, something they consumed and just reinvigorated the side. And you can tell the Titans are starting to play a little more timid. They are scared of what these Stallions can do. And you know what? I would be too, because they're starting to buck a little.
Yeah, now come in, Lalo. Challenged by Walt Python. Walt Python looking for the flip. Goes over to Think Hydra. Bouncing it off the wall. Think Hydra looking to put a goal in, but the Stallions have they've managed to get that 2-goal lead. And that was what, within like 40 seconds?
Yeah, that is a ridiculous pace as well, not to mention the number of goals here, though. Double challenge by the Stallions is an opening in center of the field. Can't Think Hydra capitalize? No. Shadow Evo, look at how high he's flying. The absolute confidence that is just exuding from the Stallions right now is ridiculous. You can tell they're feeling themselves. They're flying higher than any team we've seen before. They're challenging balls we would never expect them to, and they're finding goals against some of the best teams that we have here at EGFH.
Yeah, now once again, Shadow goes over to Choo-Choo Plane. Everybody's in the center. This is an opportunity once again, breaking out for the Stallions. Gets stopped away though. Shadow Evo looking for that 1-2 touch. Does not find it this time around. Python dribbles it past one, just needs to get it past Lalo. Lalo says, no, not today. We are going to be able to bring this series back. We're going to try our hardest to do it, and they are doing just that.
Just about halfway through the game here, the Titans are in a position that the Stallions were in game one. I mean, a lot of these have ended not particularly close, but the Stallions are doing some incredible things with the ball right now. Look at this, 3 players in the midfield, so much confidence in their ability to win these 50-50s, and it shows, and that's why they're able to capitalize, because they have so many players in forward positions because they know they're going to be winning the ball.
Yeah, now once again, Think Hydra gets the touch. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. There's still time. 2 goals in that span is more than enough, right? Whatever one team can do in the first half, you can replicate in the second half.
Oh, and Choo-Choo starts it off. Finds the first for the Sheehan Titans and maybe reinvigorating them a little bit. Yes, that last game was a real loss of confidence. So were the first 2 goals in this. But you know what? They've got a Polster live. You're still at match point. And the North Mesquite Stallions, as much as we want to hype them up, as much as they've been playing fantastically, they still have their backs against the wall. They still cannot lose this match.
And Shadow Evo here. Looking for the touch. Choo-Choo Plane rotating around, getting the read. Whiffs on the setup, though. Lovely redirect. Going to center it nicely. Nobody on the side of the Stallions was in position in time, though. That could have been goal 3.
North Mesquite now looking for a counterattack. Very, very dangerous play, though, as they send 2 players up to the same ball. Choo-Choo Plane's going to net him across. Ball's in the middle of the field. No man's like, but Lalo just in time. He's going to be getting the save and creating an opportunity of their own.
Yeah, now coming off. We see the touch coming off from Shadow. Centers it up. Lalo looks for an opportunity. Goes up. Re-centers. Shadow in the air. Gonna find goal 3.
And re-establish that lead. North Mesquite Stallions. That wasn't a fluke. And I think that's the #1 thing we need to focus on here. None of these goals from them have been luck. None of them have been just slip-ups from the Titans. They have been beautiful capitalizations, beautiful passing plays, and beautiful shots to create fantastic attempts for this North Mesquite side.
Coming up, Lalo. Look for the redirect. Oh my goodness, is that goal number 4? It is not. Walt Python saves it there. That was looking a bit worrying.
Scary, but Think Hydra is gonna make it a little bit less so here for the Sheehan Titans. Bring that 1 goal difference back up, 135. We've talked about it before. That 1 goal difference is not comfortable for this Texas team. The Stallions have got to find a way to establish themselves on the field, because the Sheehan Titans are starting to play more aggressive. They're starting to recognize that, okay, we actually have to bring this game back. We have to be forcing issues ourselves now.
Yeah, Think Hydra goes up. Comes over to Shadow, goes over to Choo Choo Plane, recenters it, cleared away there. All they need to find is one more goal, and they're trying to make it happen now. Tie it up as quickly as they can. Lalo sends it up. Goes over to Think Hydra. Looking for the double touch, doesn't find it. Lalo over to Shadow. Contested and challenged by Walt Python. Walt Python wins the challenge, recenters it for his team. The pressure the Titans is putting on Jorge with the touch. Oh no, is that just going to go in? No, okay, Choo Choo Plane gets the touch. That could have been it. That could have been the nail in the coffin. And we could have been going into a game 5.
Well, we might be here. Think Hydra looking to do exactly the opposite. A beautiful air dribble. Puts it in the upper right bins with 45 seconds left on the clock. North Mesquite Stallions, they have to win this. Now, it's not them in the driver's seat. It's Sheehan Titans deciding just the pace of this game. And you know what? They are putting their pedal to the metal.
Yeah, no, they aren't able to do. If they are able to pull this one out, they are in such a ridiculous space, right? Because that's going to just make it so they get into the grand finals. And on the flip side of that, we see the Stallions manage to win this out. We are going to be going to a game 5, and both teams will be in a match point opportunity.
I think I'm pretty much okay with either of those outcomes right about now. This game has gotten so good. The Sheehan Titans, though, looking to seal it out. The last thing they want is to have their own backs pushed against the wall. Jorge doing everything they can to set this ball out and away from the goal. With so much pressure being applied by the Sheehan Titans, these offensive rotations are beautiful, and it's going to net them shot after shot after shot as 10 seconds rings down on the clock.
We could be going to another overtime. I mean, this might be the most overtimes we've had per series.
I mean, 2 in a row is going to drop the ball on the ground, and that's it. You said it. Another overtime on the board. Navik, why don't you take us away?
Coming into the kickoff there, Jorge and Walt Python challenge each other. Good bounce off by Lalo. Lalo's going to try and recenter it here with a redirect. Choo Choo Plane contests it. Good touch from Jorge. Are they going to be able to set it up? Massive clear from Think Hydra is going to land in the hands, the palms of Shadow. Is he going to be able to get it set up for his team? It's looking like it hit. Shot onto goal. Walt Python in defense.
It's a good job again. We saw it last time these two teams went into overtime, but they both play hyper aggressive. A lot of the time we see teams slow down, we see them get nervous. Not these two. They come alive and they start playing some of the best Rocket League they've ever done, and a great demolition leaves the goal wide open. Get the finish off. Jorge, no! Saved by Choo Choo Plane.
I said it yesterday, I'll say it today. You've got to throw logic out the window when playing against the Choo Choo Plane.
Absolutely not, but the goal's still wide open, still under a threat here. Sheehan Titans Alpha lob a shot over. Whoa, a beautiful placement to seal out the game and seal out the series. Sheehan Titans Alpha are going to the grand finals.
I almost can't believe that one. We had 2 Stallion players there, and neither of them managed to save it.
I mean, it was some quality rotations from the Titans, forcing them off their line, forcing 2 up for the ball, and taking their boost away so they weren't quite able to reach it, sealing out the game in amazing fashion. You know, big ups to North Mesquite Stallions for being able to come back like that, taking a game off such a terrifying team. But looking at both of these North Mesquite Stallion teams, they are both incredibly impressive.
And now, Dor, we have our grand finalists locked in. That is it. We are going to be moving on to the grand finals, where we will see the Centerville Wildcats playing against our current victors, the Sheehan Titans Alpha. What a game that will be. I see that going all the way to game 7.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, though, if you want to keep up with all things EGF, go ahead and shoot us a follow on any bit of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @official EGF to keep up with all the action. Thank you again, of course, to our partner, HyperX.
We will be back with you momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2020 Walt Disney World EGF High School National Rocket League Grand Finals. We are about to decide our victor, and it's someone between the Centerville Wildcats or Sheehan Titans Alpha. I'm Cameron Dorfralick, and I'm joined by Kevin Navik-Dignan. It's been a long day at Rocket League, but boy, am I excited for this match. How about you?
I mean, Dor, if you have ever come for a golden experience, right? Your first experience for Rocket League, this series coming up has to be it, right? These teams have gone through regional playoffs to national playoffs to make it through finals, beat the other semi-finalists, and now they are in grand finals, Dor. They have went tooth and nail, game after game. Any single game throughout these series could have cost them these spots, but they've managed to keep it up. They are here now, and I am so excited. There's been months and months of work towards this one game.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about these teams a little bit. The Centerville Wildcats, completely undefeated, moving all the way through group stage, up the bracket, 3-0ing every single team in their path, has just looked indomitable right now. The Sheehan Titans Alpha, though, they're looking for revenge, because do we harken back to that spring championship when it was the same two teams in the grand finals, and it was the Wildcats at the end of the day who were able to take it. Let's see whether or not the Sheehan Titans Alpha are able to pull it back and whether or not they've improved enough to take down this massive team as we get into game one.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, right? This definitely isn't the first time these teams have played against each other. And like you said, harking back to that spring playoff, now they get to rematch it. Is history going to repeat itself, or are we going to see them rewrite it themselves?
It is worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best-of-7 grand finals, unlike the rest of the matches that have been played for this tournament, which were best-of-5. These teams have to have perfect mental fortitude, need to be able to last a very long time, and boy, I'm expecting them to have some tricks up their sleeve, because the longer this goes, the more creative you're going to have to get, and demolitions is one way to do that.
Yeah, no, coming off to that, we're 30 seconds in, we're seeing pressure being put on to Think Hydra from Mr. Sink here, cleared away by Wall Python. It's an interesting situation, right? Of course, like you said, we have the Alpha, the Titans Alpha in the orange, and the Centerville Wildcats in the blue. And the Titans are putting on a lot more pressure than we usually see the Wildcats let them do.
Yeah, the Wildcats, usually the team that has the reins, that is up on the saddle, making sure that nothing's really happening in these games. They're controlling the pace by just going faster than everyone they come up against. But this is kind of the thing. When you get to these final two, you can't just rely on outpacing your opponent, because the mechanical skill that is in this lobby is just ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, now we are slowly ticking down time. Like you said, there's a best-of-7, so we got plenty of Rocket League to be had. And I wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, I hope this goes all the way to Game 7, Dor.
Oh boy, a Game 7 finals. It's like Christmas in June, but we got to get there first. A long way to go here. Sheehan Titans, though, looking to start off with the first goal of the grand finals.
All right, let's break that down a little bit, because that was unbelievable. We saw the challenge coming in from Mr. Sink. Think Hydra was like, you know what? No, we're just going to challenge you here. We're going to go over. You're going to mess up the 50-50. And then Wolf Python's just going to put it in. We got that first goal lead. We got the first goal. Now the momentum's on us. This is exactly what the Titans want.
I mean, it's that perfect game of chicken. Mr. Sink actually trying to knock the ball up and set himself up for a bigger pass. Didn't realize that Think Hydra was coming on the other side of the ball in a beautiful read to catch him off guard. Now, though, they've got to hold on to that lead. And Centerville Wildcats are still always a threat.
Now coming off, Liachu gets the touch, goes over to Cypher. Cypher looking to recenter it back up right now. Choo-Choo playing. Liachu goes up. That's going to waterfall down. And we're going to see the follow-up. Think Hydra clears it away.
And now with the ball in no man's land right here in the center of the field, a lot of it is going to come down to 50-50s. We know both of these teams as very aggressive, as teams that are willing to go for every single one of these and not give you anything for free. And right now, I feel like Sheehan Titans are doing that a little bit more. The Centerville Wildcats, a lot more timid than we usually expect from their nature.
Coming up, Wall Python. It's the touch, goes over to Mr. Sink. Off it goes. 1-to-1, we see it go.
Beautiful dribble here. Mr. Sink coast to coast with the most. Flip over one. Another for the shot. Lays it into the upper left bin. That's exactly what you want. Halfway through the game, tied up 1-1. And boy, I couldn't expect anything better out of a game one.
Now, into Liachu. Touch. Oh my goodness. setting it
Never
up.
my
Like we
heart.
said, either one of these schools, either one of these teams could easily take this series win, right? We've seen the Centerville, the Wildcats beat this very specific Titans team before, but they're putting up a much better fight this time round.
That they are, but it's not one that's going to give him a lead. Cypher with a beautiful shot there. The air roll to use the underside of the car. For those who don't know, the underside of your car hits less hard than the roof of your car or the hood of your car. And so using it to effectively lay the ball into the goal and place it a little bit more precisely is often something you'll see these players do, and using it to great effect there with Cypher.
Yeah, coming off again. Mr. Sink gets the touch. Clears it up quite far. Choo-choo plane. Off the rebound. Goes over to Mr. Sink. Looking for the carry. Gets it past one over to Liachu. Communication coming out there. The double bounce. Just needs to get it past Think Hydra, which seems to be difficult. The man with many heads.
Oh!
Gonna bounce Liachu and just go straight in.
This is exactly what we saw in the semifinal earlier. Liachu, the thing that they are best at, spotting holes in the defense. Right there, in between the rotation, they recognize this tiny little bit of timing. Come in, capitalize massively for the Wildcats, and widen that lead to 2.
Yeah, coming off now, Think Hydra. Goes over the Wall Python, cleared away by Mr. Sink. Choo-choo plane. Centerville, 2 goals up door. So in a good spot, we've said it once, it's exponentially harder to catch up to 2 goals than it is to 1.
Yeah, Rocket League game that can be pretty fast-paced, but 1 goal comes a lot easier than the second. Let's see what the Sheehan Titans have to offer. Of course, we want to see a little bit better defensive rotations, and that's why leave that goal wide open for a second. Cypher comes in for a really cheeky 50-50 here. Puts the ball beautifully in towards the goal. Notably, when 2 players collide in Rocket League, it may seem random where this ball ends up going, but there is so much experience, so many calculations going through these players' heads as to how to get the ball to rebound exactly where they want it to.
Right, and what a lot of people there's a bit of a misconception with Rocket League is that the ball cannot curve, right? It's the camera that makes it look like the ball is curving, but it's always moving in a straight line. So the interesting thing about that is that you kind of can take a much better educated guess in that sense. What's that?
Really nice shot there, ringing true at the goal, but a 3-goal difference right now for the Centerville Wildcats. They're feeling very comfortable. What we don't want to see is what we saw from them in the semifinal before. They cannot get comfortable with this. You have to keep the pressure up, continue scoring, because Sheehan Titans Alpha, you give them a little bit of time, a little bit of space, and they're a team that is way, way strong enough to take advantage of it.
Coming off once again, 30 seconds left on the clock, 3 goals up. It looks like Centerville may be taking game 1 door.
That it is getting to that point where there's almost a nail in the coffin, but remember, 7-game series. We got a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen, in this one. Definitely not out of the hands of Sheehan Titans. There's plenty of time to adapt, plenty of time to improve your play. And that's one thing that you can expect out of both these teams. You've gotten this far. You have to have some ability as a team to work together and figure out a solution for what you think is going wrong right then and there.
Yeah, now coming off, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be on that buzzer. The game doesn't end until the ball touches the ground, and game 1 is going to go towards the Centerville Wildcats.
Exactly that. A really, really strong start there for the Centerville Wildcats, but Sheehan Titans, they've got some ground to make up. It was a beautiful start to the game, evening up the goals 1-1, but I feel like a lot of it is just coming at them being complacent about their defensive rotations. They left that goal open too many times. Liachu as well as Cypher come in, clean up some 50-50s beautifully, recognizing those opportunities. And that's what I'm talking about. These Centerville Wildcats, you can't count them out of anything. Any opportunity you leave, they're going to come in and capitalize on it. I can't wait to see, though, what the Sheehan Titans have to offer up for us in game 2.
And coming into that next game door, right? It's one of those interesting situations now where we did see the Sheehan Titans be able to score an early goal, but then completely lose the momentum. And Centerville, frankly, just walked over them for those last 4 goals. So hopefully we see some adjustments, a bit more confidence coming out of the team. And again, we keep not seeing it, but we need to be seeing those more aggressive play styles, the bumps coming out, right? Kind of redirecting people and forcing them to play around you.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we talk about in Rocket League a lot. The demo meta is something that can be really, really powerful because so many of the top teams for so long have relied on perfect rotations and insane amounts of speed. But when you take one car out of the mix, all of a sudden that changes a lot. And so the Wildcat, the Titans Alpha, they're both very, very susceptible to this because they're reliant on their rotation. Let's see which one of them is going to make that adaptation first. And Mr. Sink comes in and finds an open net. No!
I mean, 5 seconds, one man managed to out-rotate 3 people, or 2, I should say. Bit of a bad call there, both players going for boost instead of protecting their goal. Bit of a misjudgment call there, and they capitalized on it fully.
Beautifully done there by the Wildcats, and yet again finding the holes in the defense of the Titans Alpha, ones that really nobody else has been able to find before, and that just goes to show you how skilled these Wildcats are. As Liachu comes over, tries for a shot, good save though by Walt Python, great reaction time, but you're gonna need some rotations to fix this one up because there's gonna be more shots to follow that with this Wildcats possession being so strong.
I think Hydra goes over to Cypher. Big clear by Mr. Sink. The man is squeaky clean on these plays.
Absolutely, don't forget to wash on up right now. It's 4 minutes just crests over the clock here. The Centerville Wildcats have had possession for what feels like 80-90% of this match, keeping the Sheehan Titans suffocated in their own half, though. They've got a counterattack here off the back wall. Water falling down. Sink looks to clear it. And again, look at how quickly the Wildcats get back. The second that the Titans began the counterattack, there were already 3 defenders sitting in their way.
Coming up here, Mr. Sink goes up, sends it back up. Think Hydra tries to challenge him. Cut off one head, he comes back twice as strong, you know?
That's exactly it right now. The Sheehan Titans have really struggled, though, to capitalize on those spare heads.
No!
No, the whiff! He misses wide at a critical time.
That is extremely unfortunate, because if this game just ends up being that 1-0, the scoreline the entire way, then that could have tied it up.
Yeah, right now, you can see how comfortable the Wildcats are. They want to hold on to a 1-goal lead. They will be in your half regardless. For them, the best defense is just a better offense. And every single time they lose the ball, they're just going to beat you back because you're so low on boost, because they've had pressure for so long. It's a beautiful play style, and you love to see it here.
Yeah, coming up here, goes towards the goal. Choo-choo plane flies up, saves it. That steam-powered plane managing to make it work. Now, once again, Liachu gets the rebound. Ball Python challenging it, goes up. Choo-choo plane looks to redirect, gets it slightly too short on the angle. The dribble coming out from Mr. Sink. Looks to get the touch down to Cypher, passes it. Good coordination coming out from the Wildcats. This is what we're saying. Some of these plays just feel textbook to them.
It really does, and every single time the Titans are getting control of this ball, it feels like they're just pinging it back down the field, booting it as hard as they can, but they do manage to clean at least one of those up and even up the score against the Wildcats, who now can't be so complacent about the scoreline.
Yeah, there we go, 1-1. Now, just imagine if they had managed to get that goal earlier, we could have been seeing a situation where the Titans were 1 goal up.
Could be looking at that, but we're over halfway through the game. This one relatively low scoring. Last time we saw this line, though, it was the Wildcats coming away, bursting all the way up to 4 goals and taking a 3-goal lead. Now it's about stabilization, maintaining that level of aggression for the Titans while not slipping up on the defense. Let's see what they're able to do. Is Centerville Wildcats back in the driver's seat, are looking for a very strong attack.
Fair enough. Now Cypher gets the touch, goes over to Choo-choo plane. Back to Mr. Sink. Cleared away. Oh, that was looking a bit dicey. We could have seen the Titans scoring their 2nd goal here, but Liachu's looking to try and make a breakout run for it. Gets past Think Hydra. Steals it away, though. Good aerial interception. Oh, okay. A bit of an interesting call there. Jumping slightly too late. Oh, no. Cypher misses the ball twice. It's going to read. The Titans are going to get 2 goals.
Oh, Choo-choo plane. He did him so dirty here. Look at this. The absolute sauce. Did somebody bring the McNuggets? Because look at him just pulling on the brakes, letting him fly by. Look like a moron because he just flies on through. The Choo-choo plane strikes again.
You know, sometimes that's how you have to do it. Bibbity bobbity boop, you find the goal. That's going to be possibly another one. Good save from Liachu.
Now let's see how Sheehan Titans can capitalize on this lead. 2-1, something they didn't think they'd be seeing so far. They were unable to find a victory up against the Wildcats in their prior championship matchup, but this is a new Titans. This is a reinvigorated one, looking to tie the series up. Only a minute left as well. The Centerville Wildcats, the onus is now on them, something they are very unfamiliar with.
Yeah, now, once again, moving into that kind of midfield. Good pressure coming out from the Titans, looking to put in another goal. That would pretty much solidify their their game win here, but Cypher looking to cancel it out. Nice rebound. Mr. Sink in the back. Cypher with the demo here. This is the aggression I was talking about. Sets them up nicely. Mr. Sink's in position. Takes a shot onto goal. Choo Choo Plane stops it. Can it get past Leochu? It can. Think Hydra. Big clear. Big clear coming out there from the side of the Wildcats. With
This is so dangerous for them, though. There could be
one
another goal.
mistake here.
Oh, what a miss!
One mistake here. That's an open net. That's not going to go. That's going to be too wide. There's not enough boost on the board either. Cypher could not get there because of a lack of a boost. 5 seconds on the clock. We're going 1-1, ladies and gentlemen.
Cypher could keep it up, but it hits the ground immediately. The Sheehan Titans even up the score, and they're already doing better than their previous showing.
And this is what I was saying, Dor, right? The Titans have played against Centerville before. We've seen them lose. So the Titans are like, nah, not today. Man's got the sauce this time around. You know what I mean? They've been practicing. They've been watching the VODs. They've been studying. And that is going to be the end of that game. We're going to be moving into a 1-1 situation, Dor, and we'll be jumping into the next game in just a moment.
Now, looking at that last game there, I really want to highlight a lot of things that Sheehan Titans did correctly. The rotations weren't just good on either side. They did a fantastic job of shifting their rotations backwards and forwards from one half to the other, maintaining a constant flow throughout the game and using that to their advantage. You saw how many opportunities they got. Choo Choo Plane, especially that one fake out goal, was incredible. And it's not necessarily the defender's fault. They have a read. It's high octane, high pace, and you just can't be ready for someone to slam on the brakes like that.
No, and sometimes that's just how it goes, right? You start to adjust the momentum, you figure out the pace, you get the fake out. Sometimes it is just as easy as hitting the brakes, waiting for them to drive past you, and just rolling it in. And it worked that time.
Yeah. What do you think, though, that the Centerville Wildcats need to fix up? We saw the Sheehan Titans just come alive in that matchup, but it could be a new showing in the next one, depending on how it plays out.
We are going to have to jump to a quick break, but I will answer that question just after. So we'll be back with you, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the EGF Finals here, the grand finals of the 2020 high school championship. We are in a 1-1 situation in this best of 7 series. We, of course, have the Semifinal Wildcats playing against the Sheehan Titans Alpha, and we're going to be getting into the game. I, of course, am Navik, and I'm joined by the wonderful Cameron Dorfralik.
I'm doing well right about now. This game all tied up, 1 game to 1 game, best of 7, so we're at least going to a few more here.
Yeah, no, and this is what we want to see, right? I said before this series that I could see this going all the way to game 7, and I've not been proven, I've not been disproven so far.
Absolutely not. We will be going the distance here. And last game, we saw Semifinal Wildcats getting a little complacent. Sheehan Titans coming in and punishing that beautifully by using some high aggression and some really solid rotations. The Semifinal Wildcats, I asked you before, we had to go to a break, but what do you think that they have to do to kind of fix this one up for themselves?
Well, you know, I could answer that, or I could just let them do it themselves. Liachu almost saw the goal there. I think they just need to tighten up their usual game plan. I think the Wildcats are playing a little loose at the moment, maybe underestimating their opponents. And I think after losing a game, they're not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah, that's got to tell them to kick it into high gear. And look at this. They do not let up. Off the backboard shot into Wall Python. Just in time to intercept that pass. Cypher trying to make something again, though. This high aggression challenging every ball. Wall Python, I feel like, has been the cornerstone of this team. Every single play that the Wildcats look to do, it has to get past him first.
Yeah, coming over Choo Choo playing. There's it up. Cypher bumping into Wall Python, looking for a rule 1. Doesn't find the rule 1, but the 1-2-1 sets it off of the backboard. Mr. Sink's flying in. That play was not as squeaky clean. You know what is squeaky clean? Wall Python's dribble to Choo Choo plane sends it in. Call him the Red Baron.
And they're retaking that lead that they had in the last game. That's a big confidence booster for them, right? It wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just them getting a couple goals. They're capable of doing this, and I feel like a lot of them are coming from heavily mechanically based play, which is interesting to see because the Wildcats are usually the ones in charge of the mechanics, deciding how high the other team has to fly. The Sheehan Titans are going for everything. Off the wall, in the air dribbles, flip resets, you name it, they've got it, and they're going for it here in this game.
Yeah, coming up here, Liachu gets the touch. Goes over to Cypher. Cypher goes to the touch, gets intercepted by Choo Choo playing. Think Hydra, whiffs it there. Maybe it was a fake away though. Wall Python was not ready with the boost though. Barely
not ready. Mr. Sink though, oh, remember, bottom of your car, not going to hit that one nearly as hard, so you need to see the Wildcats try that again. And the one thing I think they can do here, normally I'd say disrupt, but I think if they can maintain the status quo, they have what it takes to outlast the Titans in a battle of attrition. So try and keep this ball in the corner, take away their boost, and just play that long game, look for an open shot, and take advantage of that, because that's exactly what Liachu and Cypher have been doing beautifully this entire time.
Yeah, coming up into that corner there, it's going to send flying up Mr. Sink. They're going to go to Cypher. Cypher gets the rebound into the corner, recentering it, looking to challenge Think Hydra. Think Hydra was definitely thinking there because that was a 200 IQ play. Like the contest, kept the angle tight, forced it so that nobody on the side of the Wildcats could get any form of advantage from it.
Now we're seeing the Wildcats do their thing off the backboard, start pressuring down those boost canisters, taking away all the tools that the Titans have to actually stop them from scoring. Choo Choo playing though, a beautiful counterattack and recognizes the opening, lobs it all the way over for a goal.
And this is what I'm talking about, right? Is that the Titans have lost once. They know how to play against the Wildcats, and they are proving that they can face toe-to-toe with this undefeated team.
Well, they may be undefeated for now, but they also hadn't lost a game until now. The Sheehan Titans are the first team to do that in this entire tournament. So if there's any team that's capable of taking down this indomitable beast, it has to be the Titans.
Yeah, and you know, it'd definitely be a titanic victory if they managed to do that one, right? A tale of the ages. Wall Python goes over to Think Hydra, carries it away. Keeps it to himself, actually. All right, a bit of a read. It was a good play, though. I like the communication that we're seeing. I like the ideas that are brewing in the side of Titans Alpha.
I mean, it's worth mentioning right now, they are in the lead. It's weird talking about the game like this. We've never had to talk about Centerville from a behind standpoint, and I think they just need to clean up their play. It doesn't look like the same team. The nerves are getting to them here. The passes aren't quite there. The rotations are imperfect. Their defense has been leaving some walls open for Walt Python to go ahead and take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, all eyes are on them, right? They want to keep this undefeated streak. They want to be able to be the team where they're just like, look, we just won everything, right? We went all the way up to a national championship and earned the title undefeated. But it's a lot. It's a lot on the shoulders, and I think the pressure's starting to show some cracks.
Oh, that it is. Think Hydra over top. Choo Choo playing with another one of these. He's going to knock him in, and that's a hat trick for him in the game. All 3 goals going to this man, recognizing every single opportunity there is. The missed rotation, 2 went up for the ball. No one was available to go out and challenge Choo Choo playing when it fell down. 36 seconds on the clock, and a scoreline neither of us thought we were going to see. 3-0 for the Xi'an Titans. It's going to take a Herculean effort from the Wildcats in order to take these Titans down.
Oh my goodness, well, that might have been an attempt there. I thought Cyber had it, but it was slightly too short on the angle. Comes over to Mr. Sink, 20 seconds left on the clock. This might be, for the first time this series, the Titans pulling ahead in game victories.
Well, it's not just a game victory. I mean, you said it. It's more than that. Right now, it's them pulling ahead, seemingly tactically, mechanically. They're all over the place. The Wildcats now have to find what every other team has found against them. They have to dig deep and find a little bit of creativity. It was something that we saw out of the Stallions earlier on in the tournament. Both of their A and their B teams. It's something we're seeing out of the Titans right now. They're able to turn it up when it matters. That clutch factor is something that you cannot put down on paper. It's not something you can describe. It's something that you have to find deep within you, and the Wildcats have not been able to do that yet.
All right, now goes over to Think Hydra. Looking to finish it up, but they managed to win it either way. Got the ball to touch the ground. That's all they needed to do.
Quality victory there. Yeah, for the Xi'an Titans, that was amazing. The victory, Choo Choo playing in the right position at the right time. And I think what they're recognizing is that a lot of these 50-50s in the midfield have been going their way, so they can afford to put a player forward. More often than not, you're going to be rewarded for that, either by more pressure or even a goal if the ball lands in the correct place. Choo Choo playing, doing that beautifully, although I want to give a lot of pressure to Walt Python. We saw the one that went way over top, almost lobbed itself into the goal, but it's not just near shots that he's getting. He's setting up his teammates beautifully with a lot of these challenges. Now we look at the Wildcats. What do you think you want to see fixed by them?
I mean, again, I said it once, I'll say it again. It just feels like the Wildcats are not playing to their usual standard, right? We usually see these really clean pass plays, good coordination coming out of them. But I do think the pressure is starting to get to them a little bit because they're just not playing to their usual caliber.
Well, we'll have to figure out whether or not they're able to keep up now the Titans have taken a lead here in the next game.
And coming into the next game, Door, this could be the beginning, right, of the Titans just managing to close this series out. If they get this win, it will bring them into match point in the next game.
Match point. And again, another first here for the Wildcats. Somewhere they have literally never been. Not through the regular season, not through playoffs. Nobody has even taken them to a match point. The Titans have made them extremely uncomfortable, and they've got to figure out how to deal with this with very little time left. Very little that can actually give the Titans an early goal, though, would be the right way to start it off. Again, Choo Choo playing right place, right time, making the critical save.
And this is really, really, really working out for the Titans. They have been playing it so nicely that it's hard to think that coming into this series that the Centerville Wildcats were so favored, but Titans Alpha really putting in the work.
Oh no! Mr. Sink coming in. Where on earth did this come from? Right, pinch off the wall, Sink with the shot from midfield. This should have been a save from Walt Python. Oh, you shouldn't have turned your car. It was so close. But that's the opening that Centerville Wildcats need. That is exactly how they get into this game. Just a little bit of a foothold is enough for them to take control of everything.
Yeah, and this is what we have also said time and time again, is when Centerville finds their stride and plays at their momentum, they keep that going. So, can they stop this streak, this force of nature, right? That is the Wildcats when they hit their stride.
And that's exactly it. Again, we said it earlier. We don't think we've seen the best out of the Wildcats. And so when that comes, it's going to be the Titans at their best versus the Wildcats like we've never seen them before. And that's starting to feel like right about now, the Wildcats are picking up the pace. They're holding down that boost button, and they're making sure this game goes Mach 2 no matter what. Big opening though here. Choo Choo playing again? No, Cypher denies it this time.
And again, this is it. It's all starting to come down. We are starting to see the Wildcats turning up the heat just a little bit. Starting to see it tighten up, like you said, right? I think they're starting to realize that the pressure, they can't be letting the pressure get to them because it will cause them to lose the series.
Oh, Think Hydra though sneaks one around the side. A really, really quick dribble as well to get there. 1-1. Last time it went 1-1. We saw it go the way of Centerville when they took control of game 1. Followed that in game 2 though. We saw the Sheehan Titans do the exact same thing back to them. This, I think, really is going to set the status quo for the rest of the series, where this next goal ends up going.
Yeah, coming up here. Mr. Singh gets the touch. Looking for the pass back. Good save.
Think Hydra coming up big when it matters most. 3 minutes on the clock, though. A lot of time left in this game. The previous ones have all been relatively low scoring, but Cypher looking to change that up here. A wicked shot towards the back of the net. Not going to be had, though. Choo Choo playing with his own dribble. He's at 0 boost, though. It's going to be really hard to actually create an opportunity out of this. Gets knocked up the wall, and the ball's going to consequentially go a little bit too far here, but the Sheehan Titans can still convert it if they can apply just enough pressure.
Yeah, Choo Choo playing, setting it up. Looks to get it set up off the rebound there into the corner. Think Hydra demos onto Liachu. Where was Wall Python in that? That could have been a goal.
It was a missed opportunity there for the Titans, which leaves the ball in no man's land here, right in the middle of the field. Nobody really wants to grab it, but Choo Choo playing, seemingly volunteering at every opportunity to do exactly that. Sheehan Titans, you don't have anybody back. One player to do it. Wall Python, don't miss this up. Barely tips it over the goal here. Liachu trying to knock it back down, but another save from Choo Choo Plane, who has just come alive in this series.
I mean, look, Choo Choo Plane, is it a train? Is it a plane? I don't know. But that man is flying in that goal, right? He's making sure defenses are happening. The dribble coming down from Liachu. Challenged by Choo Choo Train. Doesn't get the save, though. All great things come to an end. And Choo Choo Plane. Oh my god, there's too many vehicles that go choo-choo today. Manage to find the goal.
Are we not going to talk about that 180-degree flick from Liachu? Putting a little bit of sauce on it there. That's some style points, a little bit of stank on the ball as well. You can put some faster speed on it when you turn around. You can help redirect it by turning your car. And so some really high-level mechanics are coming out from Liachu.
Yeah, now coming in once again. A goal up for the Wildcats. They're looking to tie up this series. Can they find a third? Think Hydra says not today. I think not. Now coming over. Choo Choo playing over the Think Hydra. Think Hydra gets challenged by Liachu. Liachu gets the touch. Centers it up. Looking for the setup. Cypher tries to make it happen, but it gets denied. Pushed away here. Mr. Sink gets one touch. Goes up. Looking for a second. Nope. Gets denied. Well, Python sends it flying.
So it should be Cypher playing it right into the midfield and setting them up for another counterattack here. Wildcats right in front of the goal. Ball bouncing where Sheehan Titans do not want it to. Choo Choo playing, though, seemingly the savior every time they need him most. He shows up. Now Liachu, though, gets bumped by their own teammate. An open goal on the other end of the field, and a big, big miss from the Sheehan Titans.
Yeah, coming off again. Mr. Sink goes up, looks for the bounce play, gets it over. Choo Choo playing. Think Hydra. There's a lot of back and forth. I like the big sweeping clears we're seeing. This demo could be exactly what the Titans need. That's one touch. Can they find a second? They cannot. 35 seconds left on the clock. The Titans need to be finding this goal. They need to force an overtime.
Yeah, I think it's time to stop rotating back. Put 3 players forward, the pedal to the metal, and do not let off the gas here if you're Sheehan Titans. Make every single touch count. Put every single one towards the center of the field and scare the daylights out of the Wildcats right now, because you need some pressure.
Right, but the Wildcat, or the Centerville Wildcats here are in an interesting place, because all they know is that they just need to not let them score, right? They don't need another goal in this next 5 seconds. Because goal differential doesn't matter at the end of the day. They just need to not, whatever in their ability, let the Titans score, and they managed to do that.
Holding on to their victory, 2-2. I know there were a lot of people saying that the Wildcats had this one outright, but this has been a close a game as any here. We're heading into game 5, and what I believe is now guaranteed to be effectively a game 7 match. What on earth is going on?
Well, what is going on is that we've got two incredibly high-skilled teams, right? They're both playing extraordinarily well. They are both playing to each other's strengths. They are managing to find these rotations. I mean, Choo Choo playing, like you said, when his team needs him the most, he's there. And he is working as hard as he can to stop those goals from happening. Overall, ball possession's pretty even. I think there was a 2-goal differential by the end of that game, or 2-shot differential by the end of that game door. So being able to keep that up, allowing it, keeping the pressure about 50-50 in ball possession as well, means that we just have really two even matched teams, and it could go either way.
Could go either way. That's only going to make, though, this next game all the more exciting, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with that in just a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into our next game here. We are 2-2 in this best of 7 series. If this was a best of 5, we'd be in match point, but we are going to, by the looks of it, go all the way to match 7. I said at the start of the stream that this would be an absolutely mental experience, and it is proving to be just that.
The Semifinal Wildcats, they've proven themselves. They're fighting back, clawing tooth and nail for every last bit of ground against the Titans. But now we kind of have to see who's going to make that adaptation. Who's the next team to turn up? Because they've both come in. They're both starting to clutch it out. And a great shot across the goal from Walt Python. Think Hydra, though, not in a position to capitalize. Choo Choo playing. Very, very dangerous touch there back up in the center. Luckily, though, not quite capitalized on by the Wildcats.
Now comes over to Leo Choo. Big clear. Choo Choo plane. Good read to Wall Python. Good bounce. It's a nice center. Gets stopped by Cypher. Cypher looks for the touch. Goes over to Mr. Sink. Up. Over to Think Hydra. This is nice and patient play. We're moving at 20 miles an hour, but we're also moving at 2. The decision making is clear. What they're trying to get done here. Good bounce off here. Sets it up for Mr. Sink. Big clear into that back right corner. Cypher was already ready for it, but Think Hydra knew what was coming. That 200 IQ really paying in spades.
That it is, and you can already tell this game, the pace that is going on right now is absolutely ridiculous. Cypher flies through there looking for a shot. Wall Python has found an empty goal. Can he get around the ball in time? No. Lays it out wide. Think Hydra. No! Can't quite beat Cypher to the ball. It does manage to get the demolition, but it's all too late. Mr. Sink now with the ball headed across the goal. Can they get a finish off? Wall Python misses, and Leo Choo there to make the first of the game. The Centerville Wildcats looking to send it to game point.
Yeah, I mean, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Wildcats being able to find that first goal. Leo Choo scores it in, gives them the lead. Can they keep this momentum going?
Well, that's the big question here, right? The Sheehan Titans, every single time they have fought back, they have managed to find another goal. Leo Choo just barely managed to get to that one on time before Choo Choo Plane can find the shot. Now building their way up to a counter attack. The Centerville Wildcats have been playing fantastically. This is the team that we expected to show up in grand finals. This is the team that is 4-0'd and 3-0'd everybody else in their path. And this is the Wildcats of the Sheehan Titans. They've got to be informed to beat.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult situation. I mean, you've already lost to them in a finals once, right? In the spring playoffs. The last thing the Titans want to be doing is losing to them again. And when they're playing it so well, you kind of naturally want to root for the underdog. But at the same perspective here, the Wildcats are really starting to tighten up their game, right? We're starting to see the Wildcats we're used to. They're starting to play extraordinarily well.
Well, I think that's the crazy thing. You mentioned wanting to root for the underdog. I'm not sure either of these teams are at this point. The Titans have progressed to a point that they are neck and neck with the Wildcats, regardless of what happened previously. It seems like this game is dead even. And yes, it is 1-0 for the Wildcats, but it's only 1-0 for the Wildcats, and that's why Python showing us exactly what he's made of.
Yeah, I mean, now coming out, Wild Python gets touched, ties it up 1-1 in that replay door. Again, either way, whoever gets this win is in a massive advantage going into the next game, because whoever finds this will be in a match point.
Oh, shot over Mr. Sink. Can you get the save? Oh my God!
Oh, the save! I can't believe what we just saw. That was like a millimeter of movement towards the goal, and that would have been a goal.
So close here. Now she and Titans are doing the exact same thing. Ball bouncing around directly in front of their net. Choo Choo Plane finally able to clear it out. Mr. Sink with a dodgy touch. Choo Choo Plane tries to 50-50 to capitalize. Now Wall Python, what can you do with this ball? It's a really tricky one to control and send where you want it to, but he has the potential to send it over to the middle field. Misses on the touch. Think Hydra though, great 50-50 to clear it out.
Okay, coming off now, Cypher goes, looks for it. Goes to Choo Choo Plane. It's picked up. Where are we going? Mr. Sink. Oh, he's in. 1 minute, 45 seconds left on the clock. Time is ticking down for both these teams. Are we going to see another overtime? There's potential.
It really is right now. Wildcats, though, they're stepping it up. Good demolition. This buys a lot of time for the Titans to regain their boost, not be on the back foot for so long, most notably, and allow themselves to take a breather for at least a little bit of a second and build themselves some sort of a counterattack. Right now, the Wildcats are suffocating in the midfield. Their 50-50 ability is just unmatched by any other team, necking shot after shot after shot at the net.
Choo Choo Plane with another fantastic save for his team there, keeping them in this game. 1 minute left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting to see this get closer and closer. We are starting every second now. We are inching towards crowning our champions. How are we going to see it happen, though?
Cypher over top, and look at this. You can tell. Look at all the bumps that we're seeing, all the demolitions. These teams are starting to use every single tool that they have in their toolbox to do it. Great cross by Choo Choo Plane. Unfortunately, nobody's really going to be there to finish it off, but still, at least a little bit of pressure off the Titans' backs, trying to finish his shot off. 30 seconds. I'll tell you what, they don't want to go to overtime. They would much rather end this here and now.
Oh, there was a good chance there. You were at a loss of breath, Dor. I heard it. And trying to figure out what was going on there. 15 seconds left. I think we're going to go to overtime unless some crazy goal happens right now, which I struggle to believe with how well both of these teams are playing. We may be going to overtime for, like, what, the 4th time today?
Oh, we have been there so much, but I can't wait to go back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for overtime. Centerville Wildcats, She and Titans Alpha, both fighting for the lead in this series. Kevin, why don't you take us away?
Coming into the overtime now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Liachu touching the ball, sending it up into there. Wall Python with looking to follow it up, chasing the ball a little bit there, challenged by Mr. Sink. Mr. Sink gets it back into the corner. Cypher follows up on it. Choo Choo Plane has the ball, challenged by Mr. Sink, sets it up. Think Hydra in goal, big clear coming out from him now. Liachu in the air, centers it nicely. Cypher is not in position for it though. Choo Choo Plane is, however. Good tap off the wall. Cypher looks to challenge it. It's going to go up. Is anybody going to be in position? Mr. Sink is going to be as he goes back into the corner there off the bounce. Good rebound by Think Hydra with a great save there. Liachu follows it up off the back wall. Do we see the Cypher play? We do not. We see Think Hydra managing to get it into the corner once again. Now the pressure is going to be applied onto the Centerville Wildcats. Wall Python centers it back up here. Cypher, look at the rotation. We see Choo Choo Plane and Think Hydra both challenging after the ball. Going to go into a waterfall situation. Cypher challenges it with the double touch. Bounce off the wall. Cleans it out with a pinch. Choo Choo Plane looks to get it past 1, tries to get it past 2. Mr. Sink is too clean for that. He knows what you're trying to do. Think Hydra in that defense. It's the 50-50. The challenge does not allow him to happen. Cypher goes up into the air, back over to Think Hydra. Big clear comes out. This might go in off of the backboard, followed up. And we are going to see the Titans Alpha taking the lead in moving into match point into the next game, Door.
I mean, you could barely catch a breath, but I can tell you, the pace in that overtime was obscene. Both of these teams permanently holding on to their boost pedal. Everybody fighting tooth and nail for that ball, trying to ensure it heads towards the other net. But at the end of the day, a beautiful cleanup by the Titans Alpha squad to get themselves a lead and take themselves in a very, very comfortable direction.
And this could be the next game coming up, Dor. This could be the situation where we do just see the Titans managing to break all odds from their prior match history with this team and finally get a win off them, and arguably the most important win that they could get.
It's a really close matchup. We're going to find up here in just a little bit who's going to be taking away this grand finals.
Yeah. We'll be back with you momentarily. All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are hopefully getting into this last game. I mean, I'm curious to see where this one goes, Dor. Do we see this going to a game 7, or do we see the Titans inching it out, finding that mile, and taking the national championship?
I mean, it's a really terrifying prospect if you're Centerville, but nonetheless, the Sheehan Titans look like such a formidable threat at this point that it is just inevitable that they're going to be putting on some serious pressure. The Wildcats have got to dig deep and find that clutch ability that they really haven't been able to before.
Yeah, well, and they might be able to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop to a quick break once again, and we may be seeing the final game of the day. We'll be back with you momentarily. Dor, can we just talk about the series that we have been watching? Just this last grand final series. This has been mental.
I mean, we're lucky to witness this. The Sheehan Titans have come back with a vengeance. This exact same team that went down to the Centerville Wildcats in such a fashion in the spring finals is now coming to nationals with some serious gas in their cars. They want this victory. They want it now. They've got their backs against the wall. It's game point, and Centerville Wildcats have to come up big.
Yeah, and this is it. This is the first time, I can't believe I'm about to say this, Dor, but the Wildcats have their backs to the wall, and they need to find something quickly.
And that's terrifying for them. Again, I will say, they've never been in this position before. Not the entire season, not the entire playoffs. Nobody has taken them to game point. And so to expect them to be able to pull out that clutch factor is pretty difficult. They're going to have to dig extremely deep to find what it takes to beat the Titans.
Yeah, now coming off, we're kind of in, we're in that neutral game. No massive advantage state either side which way. Kind of back and forth. Choo-Choo playing though, starts to pull it away, starting setting up his team. Can he find the touch? He cannot. Liachu manages to cancel it out there with a good challenge. Wall Python gets the touch, sends it back up into the center. We have not really made inch or mile either which way direction, as that's an open goal, and goal 1 goes to the Titans.
Oh no, the pressure is getting to him. This rotation, this is a big mistake from the Wildcats, and they're gonna pay for it in dividends. 1-0, Sheehan Titans find themselves a very, very easy goal against the Wildcats, one that they are not often letting up.
Yeah, no, and this is the thing, right? Is if they, oh no, okay, Mr. Sink managing to save it there. For a second, my heart sunk for this Wildcat team. If that was 2 goals in the span of a minute, that's a difficult thing to come back from. Challenge there by Think Hydra, leaves it into an open goal. He makes a breakaway for it. Choo-Choo playing gets the touch, and that's going to be goal 2.
I mean, you mentioned you were sweating about 2 goals in a minute. There it is. The Titans, they're feeling themselves. That was a double 50-50 challenge we saw out of Think Hydra. And just the raw guts on this guy to step up and go for that kind of a play at game point in grand finals, no less, is just ridiculous. Choo-Choo play nearly sneaks in a 3rd goal, but it's just barely going to go wide.
Now coming out, we see Wall Python start to rotate around Mr. Sink, looking to actually try and bump Choo-Choo plane. You saw that setup. Cypher sends it up. Mr. Sink was in position. That was almost 3 goals for the Titans.
The Wildcats have been on the back foot this entire time. They have to fire back. They have to rally back at some point in time here. Get the Titans on their back foot and make them feel uncomfortable right now. Because at the moment, the Titans, they're in the driver's seat, and that doesn't even do it justice. They have taken complete and utter control of this match, but that's it. That's what they need. Cypher showing that they've got a pulse. This team is alive and doing well.
Coming off there, 3 minutes, 18 seconds on the clock is the goal that we see from the Centerville Wildcats. 1 goal differential now. They're closing it up, right? They've got plenty of time. But on the flip side, we also see the Titans with plenty of time to try and score another one and regain their 2-goal lead. You're in such a comfy position right now that you can kind of chill out a little bit, right? You don't want to expend too much mental energy in case you do end up slipping on this one. And it's been such a long series that you've got to imagine both these teams are starting to tire out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. This is so mentally exhausting for these players as well, deciding when you want to play defensive, aggressive. Right now, the Titans have done non-stop aggression, and the Wildcats had to adjust to it. Now, though, they've got to manage to find a goal of their own. Left wide open, though, Mr. Singh misses on the flip with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. We're reaching that halfway point of game point. Sheehan Titans, there's a reality where they just try to hold on to this 1-goal lead, Navik.
Yeah, no, that absolutely is a reality. And honestly, it seems like it might be a fairly likely one, right? Just keeping these long sweeping shots, forcing them to rotate back to their goal, wasting time. Hydra, no!
Oh, Liachu, can you finish?
Oh my God, yes! This is the thing, right? Is that both of these teams, it's neck and neck. One mistake could cost them anything.
Now this is the Rocket League we came to watch today, Navik. This is exactly the game we need. Walt Python is just going ballistic in this final game, not letting anything pass him. Choo-Choo Plane has been this unstoppable force of nature on the attack and making sure nothing moves past that midfield. So much pressure applied to Centerville Wildcats, but this team that we know can do so well under so much pressure has just got to manage to pull out a singular goal at this critical time.
Yeah, now coming out, we're seeing Cyber with the ball. 1 minute and 30 seconds. 90 seconds is all we need to see from the Titans, holding out from this barrage of Wildcat attacks. Cypher trying to go for the pinch play with Mr. Sink there. Liachu recentering it. This is the position that the Wildcats love to be in. That further up kind of V formation really has a lot of their textbook plays. But we saw one of them forced out, and the whole house kind of crumbles down when you force out a piece.
Exactly it. Oh boy, Titan's done that again. Cypher, though, I feel like he's the linchpin for this team. The only thing keeping them together, playing so aggressively, winning so many 50-50s for them. Meanwhile, Mr. Sink and Leech are really struggling to build out of their half. Here's a cross, though, out to Think Hydra, not able to capitalize. Choo-Choo playing up, lobs the ball in towards the net. Another touch by Think Hydra, but he just barely misses the goal wide. 45 seconds, though, is the only thing that stands between Sheehan Titans and Sweet Revenge, as well as a national title.
Oh, Choo-Choo playing when the world needed him most. He did not vanish. He was there in the goal, defending for his team. 30 seconds left on the clock.
20 seconds ticking down now. The blood pumping heavily through Centerville's veins. They need 1 goal, and they need it right now. 15, the buzzer about to sound for 10, and you can feel them slowly losing hope. Think Hydra putting the ball into the corner. It's so hard to remove this, just buying so much time off the clock. 3 seconds remain, and Mr. Sink has to keep this ball up in the air. A beautiful pop, though, gives them a decent opportunity. Liachu plays it into the backside, and they finish it off. Sink keeps it up into the corner, but it touches, and that's it. The Titans have done it. They take the game 4-2 and win the Walt Disney World EGF National High School Championship.
As Georgia said, I couldn't put it better myself, ladies and gentlemen. The upset occurred. Everybody thought the Wildcats were the shoo-in out of this last best of 7 series, the grand finals. But the Titans with the upset. The one time that Centerville loses is grand finals door.
This team looked indomitable. This team looked ridiculous. They were sure for the win before today, but I mean, we talked about it. That thing, you can't put it down on paper. You can't talk about it. It's the clutch factor that these teams have, and Sheehan Titans has had to display it time and time and time again. Choo-Choo playing, my God, what did that man eat for breakfast? Something just got into him, and that enabled him to just come in so clutch today.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely insane. But ladies and gentlemen, it's the saddest part of the cast for us. We are going to have to sign off now. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to follow EGF on official EGF on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on Twitch. And we just want to say thank you all for tuning in.
Big thanks as well to our partner HyperX for helping us put on this event. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.